The second edition of the Women's Premier League is set to begin on the February of 23rd, and if you have been following our series, you would know that we have covered almost all the teams as part of our series, and the last team that's left that we're going to be talking about is the team that actually stood last in the last year's edition of the tournament, that is the Gujarat Giants. But the good news for them is that Beth Mooney, the number one ranked T20I batter, is back in their team as their captain. Last year, she missed out on leading the team. She could just play hardly 3 balls and she was injured and out of the tournament. And then Sneh Rana was named as the captain of the team, and this time she will be her deputy in this very season. So Beth Mooney is back. A great news, Sabya.
It's a brilliant piece of news for the Giants. Last year, the Giants missed her dearly, and this year, Mooney has been in the form of her life. She was the leading run scorer in the WPL.
Yeah.
Then she recently became the number one ranked T20I batter. So she kind of has a Midas touch currently. So and I think she's a great addition to that Giants team, and their confidence will just skyrocket with the addition of Mooney.
And talking about her potential opening partner, Laura, she hasn't been in the best of the form lately. So, do you think that could actually hinder their progress going into the tournament?
See, there is absolutely no doubting Laura Woolward's class, because she has done it for South Africa in limited overs cricket in ODIs and T20Is. And although she had a rough time in the recent ODI series in Australia, where she couldn't even cross the double digits even once, but then she has the class to make a comeback. She has a technique, and she, having played in India, she knows how to thrive in Indian conditions. So I wouldn't. I would like to believe that she should hold her place in the team.
Absolutely, and as you were talking about Indian conditions, I think that one foreign batter who totally flourished and rather owned the Indian subcontinent pitches was a young prodigy from Australia, the 20-year-old Phoebe Litchfield. Personally, she was impressive throughout the way she played in the ODI series for Australia. And she has been an absolutely brilliant touch. And that brings me to this question mark over their opening pairs, with Beth Mooney being there, Laura, we talked about her, and then Phoebe Litchfield. She was amazing as an opener for Australia. So who do you think will be the best opening combination for Gujarat?
See, as per me, the best opening combination will be Laura Woolward and Beth Mooney, because Phoebe Litchfield is someone who is flexible. If you see in the ODI series against India, she batted well as an opener. But if you see the role she plays in T20Is and for the Sydney Thunder in the Women's Big Bash League, she mostly bats in the middle order and gives a finishing kick. So I believe that if they open with Mooney and Woolward and send in Litchfield at either number 3 or 4, that could turn out to be that could do wonders for them in the tournament. And Litchfield is someone who can alter her game as per the needs of the situation. So I believe that she can be a big asset. I'm not surprised that the Giants shelled out a whole lot of money for the young Australian. And for the uninitiated, she also holds the record for the joint fastest 50 in women's T20Is of 18 balls that she got against the West Indies last year at home. So you can imagine how dangerous she can be when in full flow.
Women's Premier League has managed to give some amazing bunch of talents, not just to India, but to the foreign nations as well. So, do you think any player that is there in the Gujarat Titans team that they would look to cash in on this year?
See, they have an added advantage this year. Catherine Bryce is someone who can add that value to the team, and she is someone who will contribute for you both with the bat and ball. If you remember, in 2020 she became the ICC Women's Player of the Decade, so that is some achievement. She is the second highest run scorer for Scotland women in women's T20Is, only after her little sister Sarah, and she also has 37 wickets to her name. So if I am in the Gujarat Giants team management, I will definitely go for someone like a Bryce, who can not only add depth to their batting, but also a lot of depth and information to their bowling lineup as well.
And as we talked about some of the foreign players, there's also an Indian, rather the one of the youngest Indian players that they have got for a whopping amount actually. So could she be the Kashvi Gautam we are talking about, by the way? Could she be a breakout star for Gujarat Giants this season?
See, I might be speaking too early, but this might be the year for Kashvi, and this might be a tool. I might be a little bold in saying this because Kashvi also has a chance of breaking into the Indian team before the Women's T20 World Cup later this year with Bangladesh. So if you remember, she started playing the game at the age of 13, and then at the age of 16, she became the first Indian to pick up 10 wickets in a list A match. And she picked up a hat-trick in that game as well against Arunachal Pradesh. And to add to that, she almost scored a half century, getting 49 runs off some around 70 balls. So she is one of the brightest talents in Indian cricket currently. And if nurtured properly, Kashvi can become a revolutionary cricketer in Indian cricket going into the future.
And I think that marked a beautiful end to what this amazing of a series that has been. And we would be hoping that we'll be able to scout these young Indian women talented players that are there. And it's such a great platform that they will be getting to represent their game, the talent that they possess, the biggest of the stages. And it will be interesting how Gujarat Giants will be. Will there be any change in fortunes for them this year or not? Yes, that concludes our amazing preview series for all the 5 teams. This is me, Dia Kakkar, signing off with Sabyasachi.